Welcome to the AI sales leader. AI, I mean, it's just everywhere in sales now, isn't it? Forecasting, prospecting, even prepping for calls. The promise is massive. Faster deals, basically an endless pipeline, optimized performance. And you see leaders pouring budget into this. They know they can't afford to miss out.
Right. But here's the reality check we really need to have. We've got to stop talking about AI purely as this, future promise. We need to look hard at how it's actually being implemented today because for honestly most organizations, AI isn't an automatic win. Not at all. It's actually quietly creating these huge organizational risks.
Yeah.
Risks that are actively, well, burning their revenue engine.
Burning the revenue engine, that's a strong way to put it. Very challenger. We hear the hype, the success stories, but digging into the data, it paints a much darker picture of how these rollouts are often failing. So our mission today is really to unpack these hidden risks, the things leaders might not be seeing, right? So we can actually turn this potential liability back into an asset.
Exactly. The surface gloss, the hype, it's masking some serious systemic failures. I mean, look at the numbers. NTDT data found that something like 70 to 85% of GenAI deployments, they're failing to meet expectations. Think about that. The vast majority of companies trying this are hitting a wall.
70 to 85%?
Right.
Wow, let's just pause on that for a second. That implies a huge drain, right? On time, money, credibility. Why? Why are they hitting such roadblocks?
Well, it links to the second key stat. CIO Dive reported 42% of companies actually scrapped most of their AI projects back in 2025. Why? Because they couldn't prove ROI, return on investment. It wasn't necessarily that the tech failed, the strategy failed, the leadership approach failed.
Okay, so it's not fundamentally a technology problem then, it's more about measurement, leadership, strategy. They just couldn't connect the tool they bought to actual revenue outcomes.
That's the core blind spot, yes. Leaders feel this immense pressure to show speed. Faster research, instant emails, call snippets quicker. They keep asking, how much faster can this make us?
Yeah.
But that's just the wrong question. It's the wrong lens entirely. The right question, the critical question is, what business problem, what specific problems is this actually solving?
Right. And when the focus is only on speed, they completely overlook these, well, less obvious risks. They look at their dashboard, see high usage. Great, reps ran 50 prompts today. But they don't realize they might just be creating massive pipeline bloat. Reps take shortcuts, maybe skip the critical thinking needed for, complex B2B qualification.
And the damage isn't immediate. That's the insidious part. It only really surfaces when deals stall out, maybe late in the quarter, or when the forecast suddenly collapses. But then it's too late. CRM is already flooded. Instead of improving pipeline quality, which is the goal, AI often just floods the system with more low-quality stuff. It makes generic outreach. Well, mass generic outreach.
Wait a second, though. If AI is supposed to help reps research better, qualify smarter, message more effectively, isn't the whole point to get to the good leads faster? Is this truly a tech failure, or is it maybe just amplifying a qualification discipline problem that was kind of already there?
That's precisely the tension. AI doesn't magically fix poor execution. It accelerates it. It puts it on steroids. So if your existing qualification process, your messaging framework, if it's weak, AI lets you apply that weak framework to 10 times, maybe 100 times more prospects instantly. You're just accelerating failure. If you're chasing vanity metrics like email volume, you're essentially measuring how fast you're sinking, not how fast you're swimming towards actual revenue.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And the result is this pipeline bloat you mentioned. So AEs end up chasing deals that were never really qualified, managers waste time on false positives, and the exec team is trying to forecast against numbers they, deep down, probably know they can't trust.
Exactly. And that leads straight to the hidden cost,
Yeah.
your reputation. Buyers, I mean, let's be honest, they're already drowning in generic outreach. A lot of it feels robotic.
Yeah.
If you don't enforce extreme discipline, AI turns your sales function from something that should create value into something that just creates noise, mass noise. Every single generic, poorly targeted, AI-generated email you blast out, it trains your market to ignore you. It can kill your chances with that account for quarters, maybe even years.
Okay, so accelerating bad execution is one major risk, but you mentioned something running in parallel, something that could be even faster, maybe more catastrophic, the security blind spot. Let's talk about shadow AI.
Oh, this is the landmine. This is the one that so many sales orgs are just sleepwalking onto. Reps, desperate for those tiny efficiency gains the vendors promise. They're copying and pasting sensitive information, proprietary notes, deal contacts, pricing details, customer strategy docs, straight into open, unsecured, public large language models, just to summarize a meeting faster or maybe draft a complex email.
And those public LLMs, they're storing that data. They're logging it. We're talking competitive intel, internal strategy, customer confidential information. It's leaving the company firewall every single day. And sometimes that data is even used to train those external third-party models, right?
It's incredibly risky, and this isn't theoretical. It's happening widely.
Oh.
Salesforce data showed 73% of IT leaders are worried, seriously worried, about AI data leaks. And over half admit that shadow AI, the unsanctioned use of consumer tools like free ChatGPT or whatever, is actively happening inside their companies right now.
And we've seen the consequences play out in the real world, haven't we? This isn't just a what if.
Absolutely. I mean, think back to that 2025 Oluth token breach. It hit companies using tools like SalesLoft, Drift AI Chat. It gave attackers access to highly sensitive Salesforce data at major firms, Cloudflare, Zscaler. Or look at that DeepSeek AI startup example. They accidentally exposed a database with over 1 million sensitive internal records, chat logs, API keys, the works, publicly.
The cost there is just immense. It's way beyond a fine or cleaning up a system breach.
The ultimate cost, the real danger, is a loss of trust, especially in B2B. Credibility is your currency. If your customers find out your sales team is playing fast and loose with the proprietary information, using unsecured AI tools, that brand damage, it's almost impossible to recover from.
Yeah.
If you can't prove your AI adoption is secure, you are fundamentally undermining every single major customer relationship you have. It becomes a defensive conversation.
Wow. Okay. That security exposure, it feels directly linked to our final big risk area, leadership failure. I mean, going back to that 42% number of projects scrapped for lack of ROI, that strongly suggests leaders are just measuring the wrong things, doesn't it?
They absolutely are. Look, the reality is most frontline sales managers, even executives, they aren't power users of this tech yet. They don't have the deep muscle memory. So they tend to treat AI like they treated older tech waves, like a new CRM module or marketing automation. Buy the tool, roll it out, track basic usage, and just hope for the best. That's not strategy. That's wishful thinking. And it completely fails to manage the complexity and the risk we've been talking about.
So, thinking about those leadership mistakes, you often see maybe 3 common, almost fatal errors that tend to doom these AI strategies before they even get going. What's the first big one?
The biggest one, strategically, is treating AI like just another shiny add-on, like a feature, instead of recognizing it as a fundamental capability shift that demands you actually redesign core workflows.
Yeah.
If you just bolt AI onto an existing messy process, you don't get efficiency. You just get an accelerated mess.
Right. Makes sense. And that connects directly to the second mistake, which is about keeping score, right? The measurement piece.
It does. They measure usage, how many prompts were run, how many emails generated. They equate that activity with actual value creation. But generating an email means nothing if it didn't create pipeline. Or worse, what if that generated email actually hurt your reputation with a key account? The scoreboard has to reflect real business outcomes, not just button clicks.
And the third flaw loops back to security. It's this idea that you can roll out AI in a silo without bringing everyone to the table, the governance gap.
Yes. Failing to involve the critical operational functions early and often. I'm talking security, compliance, and absolutely RevOps. Revenue operations. That failure is what creates the fertile ground for shadow AI to take root and for those breaches to happen. RevOps, the team responsible for the whole revenue engine's efficiency and measurement. They must be architects of this from day one to build secure, effective workflows.
So the takeaway is leaders really need to lean on experienced guidance here. People who know how to build these workflows, navigate the execution traps, handle the security. Otherwise, they risk their credibility, not just with customers, but internally too, with their teams, with the board.
Precisely.
Okay, so we've definitely painted a picture of the dark side. These hidden workflow risks, the security nightmares with shadow AI, the execution traps causing pipeline bloat, and these critical leadership errors in measurement and governance. But, as we said up front, leaders can't just opt out of AI. It's here. So the question really becomes how.
No.
How do you use it effectively, safely, and actually get that promised ROI?
Right. And the path forward, it demands an immediate shift in mindset. You have to stop treating AI like some side project or pilot. It needs to be elevated. Treat it as a core, integrated component of your entire revenue system. Full stop.
So if a leader is listening right now thinking, okay, I see the risks, I want to avoid them, what are the mandatory steps? How do you actually build that future state where AI is a sustainable asset, not a liability?
It really starts with discipline. 4 key pillars. First, problem-first workflows. Stop the brainstorming sessions about what cool things AI could do. Instead, identify the single biggest, most painful bottleneck that's slowing your revenue engine down right now. Is it qualification? Research time, handover points. Find that specific problem and build AI into that specific workflow to create measurable impact. Forget the generic noise. Focus.
Okay, problem first. Makes sense. The second pillar must address that huge liability we discussed earlier.
It has to. Security first adoption. Get security, get compliance, get legal in the room before you even launch a pilot. Define clear guardrails. Mandate approved tools. Ban the risky stuff. Remember, trust is the most fragile asset you have in B2B. You have to actively protect it from day one. No shortcuts.
No shortcuts on security. Got it. Third, the scoreboard needs a complete overhaul.
Absolutely. Outcome-based metrics. Leaders have got to stop measuring usage vanity metrics like prompts run or emails generated. It's meaningless. You must measure the impact on the system. Did our sales cycle time actually shrink? Did conversion rates from qualified ops improve? Did average deal sizes go up? That is the only scoreboard that matters to the board, to the business.
Okay, outcomes, not activity. And finally, you mentioned the lack of muscle memory, the fact that many leaders are new to this.
Right. So fourth, experienced guidance. Leaders need access to people, internal or external, who genuinely know how to translate AI capabilities into real, measurable sales outcomes. Not just tech gurus, but people who understand the sales process deeply. Those leaders who lean on that kind of expertise to define the right workflows, set up the right governance, they will move faster and safer than competitors trying to figure it all out alone through trial and error.
Problem first, security first, outcome-based metrics, and experienced guidance. That provides a clear framework.
It does.
So this has been a really critical look at where AI often goes wrong in sales today. And we've established pretty clearly, I think, that the failure usually isn't the technology itself. It's systemic. It's caused by accelerating bad processes, by overlooking these deep cybersecurity risks, and by fundamental leadership failures in how we measure and govern these tools.
Yeah, the message is clear, really. AI is here. It's staying. But success demands intentional design. It demands discipline. Reckless, rushed rollout. That burns your pipeline, destroys trust. But intentional, thoughtful design, that can absolutely accelerate your entire revenue system. The winners in this next phase, they're not going to be the ones just chasing the latest shiny AI tool. They'll be the ones building disciplined, integrated systems where AI becomes a true asset for their people, for their process, and ultimately for their customers.
That's a powerful closing thought. So if you're a sales leader, a RevOps leader, anyone involved in driving revenue, share this conversation with your team, with your peers. The potential upside of AI is absolutely real, huge even, but only if you get those 4 pillars: problem first, security first, outcome metrics, and guidance absolutely right. Get it right, and it's a massive advantage. Get it wrong, well, we've heard the risks.